Welcome, everyone. We want to thank you for taking some time out of your day to be with us. Come on, let's get to the root of it.
In these times that we live, we take strides to move forward. We strive to be more, stay strong and be focused. Start a while, we make choices, live or die. Take over starts at the root, and the truth may be hard to swallow. Step one, self-love above anything else. Unlock peace and happiness.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are you guys doing tonight? Welcome to At the Root of It. I am Shannon. Give me one moment. Good evening. Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to At the Root of It. I'm so sorry. I am in transition because we are doing a little bit different things tonight. So I wanted to come on and I wanted to talk about self destruction and what are the things that we can do about it and what are the things that brings it out of us. Okay. Now, before I get into all of that, I just wanted to actually come on and be really, really, really transparent. Um, we're all in transition at this time. But I will not give up on the dream that God has given me as far as where at the root of it is. And so that's why it's just me. So if you see any hiccups tonight, it is just me. But to God be the glory. It's nothing bad. But I'm going to continue to run the race that God has given me to run. So tonight we have my daughter, she's a special guest. And we're going to talk about um, self destruction. And the reason why I wanted to talk about that is because we all have some form of self destruction or self destructive tendencies that we tend to um, go towards when things in our life are not going the way that we want them to go. Um, we may use drugs, we may drink, we may have lots of sex, like different things that we do that is very destructive, and we don't even realize that we're doing it. And I wanted to talk especially about this subject because I know firsthand about what self destruction does to a person. And one of the things that I wanted to say was that when you don't have self love, self destructive tendencies will always be prominent in your life. If you do not take the time to sit back and to actually um, take an account on when certain things happen in your life and how you respond or react to it. Because reacting to something and responding to something is two totally different things. So um, I know that I used to be a reactor. I used to react on everything. I used to be, as people would say, Peter Popoff. Like anything you say, what, who you talking to? What are that? Whatever. I was always that person that that actually would fight um if there was a problem. That I would allow my anger and allow people to take me out of my character. But one of the things that I've learned in this walk of healing is that people will only have power over you if you allow them to have power over you. You have to know who you are. You have to know what you are. You got to know that you're strong. You got to know that you're able to overcome any obstacle that is before you. And if I don't tell you or share anything with you guys, tonight should be the catalyst to you understanding that no matter what goes on in your life, never allow it to steer you away from your dreams, your aspirations, and your goals. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain, you are the co-creator of your destiny. You have the power to either rise up like the phoenix or be tossed down because people, places, and things. We have to learn how to be able to be our own cheerleaders. We have to learn how to be able to do the things that we need to do for ourselves without any assistance. Now, please understand that having assistance and having people on your team is great. But if you don't know who is really on your team and who really isn't on your team, you still have to know that you have to go full speed ahead and put blinders on like on horses. You know, when they're racing, they have blinders on. They can't see to the left or to the right. And that's even a biblical statement as well, where God says in the Bible, it says, don't look to the left or to the right, but look straight ahead. And also, don't ever let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. But back on to the subject, okay? I just wanted so I'm going to be setting up something because I know I'm on my iPad where normally I'm in the studio and everything, all of that is broken down, and I am transitioning. So soon come, but every week I will still be on here, whether I'm holding my tablet or whether I'm in a studio that we put together. But nevertheless, this show will always go on because I'm not the officiator of this show. God is. He's the author. He is the reason why I am doing it. He is the one who gave me the strength and the courage to do it. And I'm going to continue to fight on. So, with that being said, with your self destruction, and I'm going to bring my daughter on, just give me one moment because I was always in front of the screen and never on the back. So I'm going to be doing two things at one time. Oh, and I can see the comments this way. Great. Hi D, hi Latoya, hi Phoebe. And listen, at the end of the day, God is going to always get the glory. He's going to get the glory regardless of anything. And I just praise God because maybe even a year ago, I would not have done this. I would have been discouraged. I would have been discouraged if this would have happened a year ago. But through healing and getting through my self-destructive ways, so one of my self-destructive ways was being Peter Popoff, right? My second my second self-destructive ways was because I did not love myself, which means that I did not love or appreciate my body. So because I didn't love myself and I allowed the man in my life to dictate to me that his love was the love that determined that I was lovable. I hope you caught that his love was the love that determined that I was lovable. And I ain't giving nobody that power. I'm just not giving nobody that power today in 2021. Shannon is not going to give anybody that power. And I just wanted to you know, see what other things that you or the audience out there actually um struggles with as far as self-destructive natures. Like some people, they go to drugs when or alcohol, you know what I mean? I won't even go to the drugs part, but they'll go to alcohol to wash away their pain, to forget about their today, not realizing that once you wake up, your problem is still there. So what do you do? So I did have my book, but I'm not where I'm supposed to be. So um and I have a book, and my book is a at the root of it book, and basically Um, how I went through my healing was um, I began to write and I began to meditate on the different things that hindered me in the past. Because one thing that God told me was that He was going to change the trajectory of the generations to come in my family. And in order for that to happen, a mind shift had to occur. Okay. And because of that, all of my old ways, all of my old thinking, all of my old routine, like I didn't realize that I was really hurt for 20 years and walked around this earth like everything was okay. I did not understand that in order for you to really heal and be free from your past, like it's some demons you gotta fight. There's some realizations that you have to really come to, and they're hard realizations. And the last thing that I just went through, not just a week ago, was what I was healing from was my abandonment issues and rejection issues. So in the past, when I felt rejected, I would go find a dude to talk to make me feel like I was important. So, okay, you don't want to talk to me. Okay, you don't want to tell me what you're not saying the things that I want you to say. You're not treating me the way I want you to treat me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find somebody else, because that is the nature of human beings. That's what we do. But the thing is that we're building soul ties, and then we're wondering why we're feeling the way that we're feeling, we're acting the way that we're acting, and we're doing things that we've never done before. And it's because we've allowed people in our energy. Okay. Now we need to really understand what our energy means. I remember growing up, it was your vibe. Your vibe is off. Because if your vibe is off, people feel that energy is real. You feel it, and we tend to ignore the signs, um, and we go into the deep end, and then bam, here's self destruction. We're headed for self destruction, and we don't understand why, because we didn't take care of the things that we needed to take care of. We didn't speak about it, or with me, I didn't even speak to anybody. I actually went in my cave. Actually, I went into my cave and I did not speak to anybody but God, because at the end of the day, He was the only one that will be able to bring me out, the only one that will be able to heal me. And guess what? He was the only one. He had to sit me down. He had to quiet the noise. He had to get rid of the distractions, because, see, people will bring you their stuff, right? And their stuff will then overturn your stuff. And then you forgetting about your stuff. Now, again, you know, when we want God to bless us, we sow, we serve, we do all of these things to show that we have a humble heart, that we have a giving heart, because you can't receive unless you give, right? But then you have people that will just use those things against you. So, how can you offset doing the same things when difficult times come? What do you do? What can you do differently that that can reshape how you handle your difficult problems? Yes, especially for empaths. Now, believe me, I will definitely be able to pull up everybody's um their responses. Give me one moment. I'm gonna do it, because God is good and I'm not dumb. So I'm gonna do it. But I'll say this, that at the end of the day, what are the things that you do that ultimately you sit back at the end of the day and say, I should not have done that. Those are the self-destruction or self-destructive times. I shouldn't have done that. Well, why do you keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result? Why? We always say, oh, it's insanity. And that is the clinical and that is the way that we're supposed to explain it. Insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result. But what are you really going to do to expect a different result? So I was Peter Popoff, right? So now I've learned to be quiet. I've learned to sit back. I've learned to allow God to handle it because a soft response turns away wrath. See, it took me 41 years to learn that a soft response turns away wrath. Now, mind you, I had a fervent prayer that I always prayed that God season my speech with salt so that I may know how to answer every man because I don't ever want to be combative with anybody. But the Peter Popoff came off after talking was just not enough, and you wasn't getting it. So I would pop off, and I didn't care. I just didn't care. What are the things that you guys do that hinder you that you wish that you didn't do to, and what can you do to make it a healthy transition opposed to a traumatic tumultuous I'm saying it wrong, tumultuous, um and in your weakness God's strength is made perfect. Yes. And you know what else too, you know what he reminded me of today, in my meditation time. He told me, he said, the joy of the Lord is our strength. But if we don't have no joy, we don't have no strength. You don't ever allow people, places, or things to dictate your mood. Now, I'm going to bring my daughter on. Now, I'm going to see. Let me see. Let me see. I'm going to bring my daughter on and see if you guys can hear her. Again, please, um, you know, be patient with me. Be patient with me. All right. Okay. I had to turn down that. So let me bring Jazz on to the stream. There is my darling, darling baby, Jasmine, and my grandson in the
Hey,
background.
so you can hear him.
Yes, I can hear him. But it's okay. Um, Oh, and he's calling her. Look. But anyway, I just wanted to bring you on really quickly and then we'll mute you so you could go and see about him. But I just wanted to bring you on because I wanted to bring a different perspective on as far um as self-destruction or self-destructive tendencies. This is my this is my daughter. But wait, let her go and handle my grandson real quick. We'll take her off screen and she's gonna handle him really quickly because he's very persistent and he will continue to call her. But I also know people too when things are not going their way, they will sabotage things, right? So it's self sabotage that's also self destructive ways, right? What do you do to self sabotage? I know me. I self sabotage in relationships. Um, I'm not really good at relationships. I self sabotage because I've had trust issues in the past, right? So I'm trying to work through my trust issues so that I can be whole and complete for the man that God has for me. What are the things that you guys deal with? You gotta, we want so many things in our lives, but we really don't want to do the work. We just don't want to do the work. We want everything to just fall in our lap because I can talk about that because guess what? That was me. I always just wanted everything to fall in my lap. I wanted everybody to do everything for me. I wanted um I guess it was because I didn't believe in myself. You know what I mean? I didn't believe that little old Shannon Michelle Willis, the nappy head girl with the buck teeth and from the Bronx would ever be able to be what she sees in her dreams. To the point that I stopped dreaming. How many out there stop dreaming? How many out there don't even know where or what to do? You know what I did? I began to find the root of what hindered me the most. And you know what that root was? It was procrastination. Procrastination was one of my biggest enemies. And I don't know um if people can even relate to it out there. But procrastination was one of my worst enemies. So while I'm looking on as the world is passing me by and everybody is, good evening, Tange. um, but while the whole world is passing me by, I'm not doing anything about it. I'm not doing anything about it because number one, I don't believe in myself. That's self destructive tendencies. When you don't believe in yourself, when you don't know how to encourage yourself, when you don't have a circle around you that can tell you your good points, you have to really, and this is just my perspective, you guys, I'm not a clinical doctor. I can't tell y'all really, hey Toria, you made it. Yay. I can't tell you guys um how to do it for like a medical reason. I can tell you if you are able to sit with yourself and be real with yourself, then I can tell you how to stop those self destructive tendencies. If when you get hurt or when someone, um, because most of the time we're self destructive when we're hurt, right? Um, when those self destructive tendencies come about, I mean, when those hurt opportunities or those hurt times come about, what do you do? Um, what is the first destructive thing that you do? So I'm gonna bring my daughter on. I don't know if she wants to answer that question, but by all means, you guys that's logged on, you can always answer that question in the comments, and I will definitely put it up and show you guys. Okay. But welcome, Jazz. Welcome back.
Hey. Hey.
How you doing?
Good.
So, I had asked the question of when you are angry, right? Or if someone hurts you, have you ever identified your most destructive thing that you do? Have you identified that yet? As far as the things that you might do that would be like self sabotage. I've spoken about me with men, finding new people, or um, just procrastinating and not doing anything about it, and or being Peter Popoff. That was me. Sorry, I'm trying to remember what I said because I spoke for a whole almost half an hour, so I said a lot in a half an hour. Um, but I see that Phoebe has something to say, and she said, "Sit with yourself and be real with yourself. What a truth. That is a very necessary step in the right direction. It is. It is. Latoya, I see Latoya said, a lot of us procrastinate. And we do. You know what I mean? We really do. But would you consider procrastination a self destructive tendency, Jazz?
Um, it depends on how you procrastinate. I think that something becomes self destructive when it is overdone or just the opposite of the result that you actually want. So
Hmm.
there's different ways that you can be self-destructive. I mean, procrastination, yeah, it's a negative trait. But some people can procrastinate and still get it done on time. Procrastination
Right.
becomes a self-destructive thing, a thing or concept when you procrastinate and you don't get nothing done. Then that's
Right.
self-destructive. Um,
Right. That was me. That's why I used it as procrastination, as being a destructive trait, because that was me. I procrastinated to the point where I didn't do anything about it. I sat with it, and then I just didn't never did it. I was like, whatever. Um, but that's one of the things that I've changed now because I had to do some meditation on it, to be quite honest. And I actually listened to it last night, going to sleep, because I knew that I was going to have to embark in this new territory of me pressing buttons and doing everything on my own for the first time. And so I just wanted to make sure that I was on my P's and Q's about it, and make sure that I understood and knew that this could be done. So I listened to procrastination meditation last night, and what that did, it helped me get into a mind frame that anything is possible, that nothing, if you have a mind to do it, and you're one of the main people in all actuality that when you put your mind to it, you actually accomplish it. Like when I've seen when you honed in on a specific goal, you really do it because you give it your all. But destructively, because we have to still stay on topic, because people are out there hurting. And one of the reasons why, at the root of it, is so dear to my heart, is that we want to be able to touch those people that don't have a voice. There's so many people. I'm just the rooter of the underdog, and I think that I've actually learned that from my daughter, because she was like that from a very young age. She was always the rooter of the underdog. Like, she was like, "Don't laugh if somebody fell." She was not laughing at them. She would defend them. Like, that's not funny. Like, it was
yeah,
never anything. It was never. We always just really want to be able to just my the thought just came out. But anyway,
So
wait.
let
What
me,
was I
so let
saying?
me, mom, mom.
Underdogs. Thank you. Go ahead.
So, something that I really want to touch bases on about self-destructive tendency is as far as how self-destructive tendencies can affect you in a relationship. Like you said, as far as men go, so I had in that area, I had self-destructive tendencies. Definitely, I was the type of person that you show me you slipping, I'm a slide, like, and
Wait,
I think that
is your Wi-Fi on?
yeah,
Okay, because it was just going out. Go ahead, baby. Are you stuck? I'm like, are you stuck? You
am I
back?
here? Yeah,
Yeah, you there. You just look like your dad. Like, oh my God, your picture was stuck, and it was like Jamel face. Go ahead.
but some of the self-destructive tendencies that I had, and I feel like okay, so it all kind of ties together between self-love, how you deal with yourself and somebody else in a relationship, and what the effects are to you and your temple and things like that. So like I was saying, like you said, as far as dealing with men. If you slipping, I'm sliding. I was that type of person, and I feel like because my face is so sweet, people underestimate me a lot.
Mhm.
Um, and at first, like before, I didn't really like that about people. Why do you underestimate me? Now, I feel like it's a good place to be because
Right.
they take my kindness as a weakness, and then when I really show you that other side to me, the self-destructive side, because tit for tat is real. So you doing something, you moving funny, I can move funnier, I could do it better, like that. So I think that's self-destructive though, and that's very toxic to be tit for tat, to try to make somebody feel how they made you feel. I feel like that's something that's self-destructive that I had to grow out of, and I'm still growing out of. Or just even like looking for love outside of the relationship when the relationship isn't giving you what you want. Um, I feel like that's
Mm.
self-destructive. That's
So
self-destructive.
looking, yeah, of course it's self-destructive. You looking outside of something, you're already in it, right?
Hmm.
And you're and you still have wandering eyes. Why isn't it then?
Hmm.
Leave it alone. What Michael said, don't just leave me alone. Leave me alone. Okay, no. All right, you know that song? It's Michael Jackson. Leave me alone. But anyway, you gotta. I
I
just
think
lost
the
my train of
first,
thought singing Michael
I think,
Jackson.
I think the first step in figuring out your self-destructive tendencies is just becoming aware of yourself. Um,
Mm.
you have to understand who you
Be
are.
real with yourself too.
Yeah. Hmm. You have to understand who you are. Can I be like that? There was a lot of points in my life as of now, and I'm only 22, but there was a lot of points in my life where I would come to my mom and be like, "Mom, I'm a horrible person. I suck. I freaking suck." For real, because I was vibrating at a very low frequency.
Low.
there was
Yep.
there was times where I couldn't take anything that anyone said to me. Don't say anything that could potentially hurt my feelings. People were walking on eggshells around me because I couldn't stomach anything. I needed to
Right.
deal with my stuff, my self-destructive
Right.
tendencies, my looking outside of a relationship trying to fill voids. When why, like you said, why be in a relationship if you're trying to fill a void or something's lacking there and you're not willing to work on it with the person. um
Right.
Also a some I noticed that some self-destructive tendencies or traits that you have can be learned behavior.
Yes.
I was a runner for a long time. But that
Mhm.
was because as I was growing up, when things got rough, I hopped from mom to dad to mom to dad every time it got
Right.
rough. So I had to teach myself to slow down, don't run, see what's happening before you try to pick up everything and take off, because you burn bridges that you might want to have
Right.
in the future. You might need those bridges, but you burn them running. So I was a runner. I was a
Right. Oh, I
runner.
want to touch on that. Oh, I really want to touch on that. That running. Running gets you nowhere except for you're out of breath, but running
Tired.
away from but running away from your issues or your problems will never get you anywhere. Like in the beginning of the show, I was stating that, we try to drown our sorrows away, but lo and behold, when you wake up the next morning and you're sober, but you got a hangover, your problems are still there. Nothing has changed. Nothing, nothing has changed. So, in order for things to change, we have to change it. And we have to be able to be open with ourselves, truthful with ourselves. Because a lot of times, People be like, "Oh, I keep it real." How you keep it real? You can't even keep it real with yourself. You gotta be able to keep it real with yourself first. If you walking around here talking about I'm real, yo, you real? Oh, you really real? You really, really real? Don't no, like you not. Like you gotta really, really get down to the nitty gritty, and it's gonna show. It's gonna show because at the end of the day, if you don't get to the root of you, and you don't um actually deal with those hurts, and you continue to walk around in character. See, because I remember you, Jazz. It was actually you. That's why I had her on here because I love my daughter. She helps me. We be like putting our head to the phone talking about Wonder Twins activate because our brains, right? But one of the things that Jazz has said to me, and dag nabbit, what was I gonna say, Jazz? You don't know because I ain't say it because I said Wonder Twins activate. But it was something that you had said to me, um, and it made perfect sense. What did I say before? Come on, you gotta help me.
I don't know where you were going.
Oh, I
What's up?
lost it, guys. Anyway, it'll come back because it was a good point. But it was something that she said to me, and I just don't realize what she said. But at any rate, Jasmine always says certain things to me that I have to take for food for thought. And I'll actually tell you this: some other self-destructive tendencies that we have that we don't even realize that we are carrying is our feelings towards our parents. And me and my daughter has just like gotten over such a big hurdle in our relationship because we told hard truths to one another. Now, the thing about it is that she couldn't tell me this a year ago. She couldn't even tell me this maybe 6 months ago. But when she brought it to me, I was able to take it from her and explain a lot of things to her that I didn't explain to her because she was my daughter. I just had to move and shake the way I had to move and shake. And but you have to heal those past hurts as well with your parents because that's very, very vital. Hey, look, Jazz, look who's on. I'm like, hey,
Oh, hey Trey.
yay, thank you. But you really have to heal those past hurts with your parents, and but you have to gauge them because, like I said, had Jasmine said the things that she said to me just maybe 6 months or a year ago, I would not have received it in a way that I've received
It
it
was
when
a
she
huge.
brought it to me.
hmm It would have been a huge fight.
What you say?
It would have been a
Yeah,
huge fight falling out. What? I mean, when I said it, I said, "Are you ready to take this? Are you ready? Are
yeah,
you ready for this?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Ma, I'm not gonna put it all out
right.
there, but." And she
It's
was
okay
like,
though. I'm transparent.
I,
I'm transparent. Listen, it's our personal business. I'm not talking about that. But at any rate, when she said what she said, what did I say to you?
"You said you're right, and I'm sorry for real." And that is something that most parents cannot get to. I'm so blessed to have you because when I speak about you to other people, I can see the jealousy or the envy because they don't have a parent like you. I can really come
Oh,
about anything. But to get back on topic about self-destructive tendencies, how about
well,
the man?
look what Phoebe said though. Wait. Look what Phoebe said. Mother and daughter truth talks. More of us need to have them. Yes, we do. Because in all actuality, there's so many mothers that's out there that's so jealous of their kids. And I'm so not jealous of mine. Do you see how beautiful she is? I made her face. I'm so proud of her. So I made her face. I would never be jealous of my daughter because she is an extension of me. She like how the Bible says, Jesus is the vine and we are the branches. Well, in my family tree, I'm the vine and this is my branch. And look how beautiful the flowers that bloom on this branch. But there's so many women out here that compete with their child and compete with their children. For for what? For what? For why? Why? Why do we have to do that? See, the
Wow.
thing is this is if my daughter is greater than me, that means that I did a hell of a job with raising her because I need her to be better than me. I need her to surpass me in so many different ways. Because at the end of the day, that means if she surpassed me, my grandson will surpass her and his kids will surpass her. It will build a momentum that will keep going from generation to generation to generation to generation. And one of the things that we really need to understand is that it is not about us in this present time, but it's about our generations and our generations and our generations. So let's get to these self-destructive tendencies. Let's get to why we do the things that we do. Let's face our fears. Let's understand
So
that we're all gonna fall short.
I
I'm
wanted
sorry, go ahead.
I wanted to talk about negative thoughts and shutting off the voices that tell you that you can't, or tell you that you lack, or tell you that you cannot have, or that it's impossible to obtain, or that it's not for you. And also, um,
Right,
the voices or the people that treat you a certain type of way. And if you're not mature enough emotionally or mentally or even physically to understand that the way somebody treats you has nothing to do with your value does not change
right.
because of the way somebody treats you. Your value changes because of the way that you treat yourself. When I
Yes,
had to that, when I was not treating myself correctly, my spirit showed that. My face showed that. My eyes showed that. When I wasn't treating myself correctly, when I was running out
right.
trying to find love in different areas, and let's talk about the meaningless sex. Let's talk, like, if we really want to talk about it, there's
Get
so
real, right?
there's so many self-destructive tendencies that we have, that I feel like people just have sex nowadays just to do it.
Just to
Especially
do it.
age group. My age group is just out here just doing it. And I was
Right.
like, at one point when my father died, I was out here. I was living how I wanted to live, and it wasn't good. My mom told me, you need to slow down. And a lot of the times, we'll get that advice from our parents: slow down, focus on yourself, da da. And you don't understand it until you understand it, until you get to that age or that mentality, like, okay, I need to slow down. I need to
Slow down.
self from who am I?
Hmm.
Because I'm running so much, I'm not giving myself any time to know who I am.
Right. That's
Because
right.
so
That's
much so
right.
for somebody else, that's a self-destructive tendency too. Overly over giving, people pleasing. Because I
Yes.
please you, because I'm trying to make you happy, because I don't want to hurt your feelings, I disregard my own.
See, and that is one of the things that I did. The last time that my heart got really hurt, which was just recently, um, what God told me, because like I always told you growing up, Jazz, I always told you, well, what was the lesson? There's always a lesson in everything. It's, whether you agree or disagree, that's totally up to you. But there's what is the lesson in it, right? And that's my motto. I don't deviate from that. That's my motto. So, um, the one of the lessons that I actually learned was to have clear and concise conversations and communication. The reason being is because if you do not communicate clearly, there is a disconnect in communication where one person is thinking one thing and the other person is thinking another, and y'all still not coming together because it wasn't effective communication. And you really have to do that. So that was one of the lessons that I learned. And now, so then, um, now, when you first get the lesson, now you gun ho because now you know. So now you strong with it. Like, nah, let me be clear. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say X, Y, Z, and let me be clear. But you gotta temper it, but know your worth. And this is the whole reason why at the root of it is what it's supposed to be, because you have to know your worth. If you don't know your worth, those self destructive tendencies will continue to go on, and you're wondering why you're in this endless cycle going over and over, expecting a miracle. Believe me, I know you expecting a miracle, boy, and you're like, this cycle is gonna end. I remember every year in church we would get a new slogan. We would get a new slogan. That's my grandson, y'all. But we would get a new slogan in church every year, and um, it would never happen for me, and I would wonder why. And then I said, "Oh, I ain't never changed nothing for that to come together. Like even if you're full vine, like in the Bible, it talks about in order for God to get the fruit out of you, he has to prune you. He has to cut you back a little bit so that you can grow to your fullness, right? So
That's
it
that's another
is
self-destructive trait. Um, you said what did you say, Mom? Because it was something important that I really want to say to you. So what were you saying?
as in reference to what?
Oh, so
This does
all right.
listen, because it's just off the cuff. So at the end of the day, well, let me say this because I want to bring it back to Phoebe, right? Phoebe put this on here. She has a comment. She says, "I've been inviting my oldest daughter to sit down with me, and she's not interested. Maybe it's not the right time for her, but I'm praying." Well, let me tell you something, Phoebe. One thing for sure, two things for certain. That all you can do is do right on your end. You can only give what you can give. Um, but when you pray, I mean, maybe, some things come by fasting and praying, right?
Oh,
So
now I know what I was
you
going to
gonna
talk about.
remember?
Yeah, I remember. I was going to
Okay.
talk about letting go of the victim-based mentality. Um,
Mm.
because when you have a victim-based mentality, you think that these things are happening to you. Um,
And
all the
not
negative
for
things are
you.
happening to
Woo!
you. Some things could be happening for you, but some things could be happening because of you.
Of
And
you.
we have to know
You better
when to
say that.
as far as Phoebe's comment with her daughter not talking to her, I don't know what happened. No, leave the stuff in here. Sorry. I don't know what for them to be speaking, and sometimes it may take time. Um, maybe some words were said that that were hurtful. Maybe it's gonna take some time for her pride or ego to let those words go and to truly understand what's happening. Sometimes you have to just let things be the way they are. Unless you were the person that messed it up. I mean, then you gotta go and fix that. But like if it's something that you're trying to fix and the person is not willing or cooperating with you to fix it, then sometimes you have to learn to let those things go. And when they're ready,
Yeah.
they'll come back. Me and my sister had an argument, and it was bad, but it was good. We both saw parts of ourselves that we needed to fix. Um, me as far as leaning on her too much, her as far as not treating me like her sister, more like uh her daughter. Like that's how I felt. So
Right.
it's just, and I wasn't ready to talk to her when she was ready to talk to me, but she gave me the space and time that I needed
Right.
to really terms with everything that was spoken, how she felt, how I feel, and not just looking at how I feel, because you have to look at everything. But that
Yeah.
victim based mentality will get you that will get you stuck and keep you stuck. There's something that I was just saying to a friend, and I was just telling him like time is an illusion, and being stuck is an illusion. A lot of
Mhm.
the time we'll be mentally stuck and we feel like we're physically stuck, but there's no ropes on us in the natural.
Mhm.
So there's no chains on us in the natural. Therefore, we are not stuck. Where do you want to
Right.
be stuck in your mind? Do you want to stay stuck in your mind? Because if you want to stay stuck, then you won't change the things that need to be changed. You won't try to think
Right.
differently. You won't put in the work. But when you're ready to put in the work, because you have to get ready to put in the work, it's not easy. It's a fight
Right.
daily. My negative self
It's
talk,
not.
that's a fight daily.
It's so funny
I'm
that
getting
you said that.
the blessings are coming, but I still have to fight the negative self talk. I still have to fight the lack mentality. Why? Because that's something that
Mhm.
I was in. So I have to untrain myself. The wheel was turning this way, and now I have to slow it down just so it
And
can go
come back the
back.
other way.
Right.
Yep.
So
You know my analogy for that, my timeline analogy. You know what I mean? When you're on, you have a timeline, and you have zero here, and you have the negatives going this way, and the positives going this way, and you on -6. You have to go back through those negatives to get to zero to start getting to the positive. That doesn't mean that you're not making any progress. That doesn't mean that your manifestations are not coming and your blessings is not just right around the corner. It just means that you're going through the process of getting rid of the baggage. We don't want to be Erica Badu's out here talking about bag lady. We don't want that.
you
And we
don't know
don't
how.
want a bag man neither. You know what I mean? Men need to heal too. But I wanted to say this. You were saying that you give advice, and Rome said, he said, Jazzy Jazz has brought me from so many dark places. And I love hearing that because that lets me know that, you know, what's on the inside of you is true. It's true blue. What you've learned, what you've gone
Baby,
through, it's brought much wisdom than most 22-year-olds have. And I'm just very proud of you. It's just like at the end of the day, um, all we really want as parents is for our children to be able to be functional adults. I want to come to your house and open up cupboards and leave toilet tissue on the sink and throw water on your mirror. And, I want to do all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I want to do all of that stuff. So, why wouldn't I want to set you up to be the best that you could be? But see, the thing is that I had odds against me. I also wanted to mention this too, and this may be so far fetched for people that may see this at a later date. But we also have to understand that we're under a lot of spiritual warfare. Okay, and a lot of people um don't talk about spiritual warfare because it's a scary subject to talk about. But I'm going to address it because these are the things that I deal with. When you have a lineage, when you come from a lineage of which my family comes from, where our great grandmother was a healer, and our great great grandmother was a healer, and our great great grandfather was a prophet, and our grandmother and aunts were they cast out demons. Greatness comes with all of that, but it's also attacks come with it as well. And when you're not mindful or cognizant of people doing things to you, people just, you rather not talk about it because talking about it, you're saying you're giving it power. But if you don't talk about it, you won't empower anybody to know how to fight. In order for When my daughter was 2 years old, um, I made her put her hands up, right? I would put my hands up like this, and I would have her punch me in my hands, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. And so her grandmother would say, "Why are you teaching her that?" And I said, "Because she'll never be that girl that ran from anything." Her father and I were always drilling her that she's a leader, not a follower. Like, these are the things that we have to say to try to break the generational curses. But then when you dig deeper and you realize, wow, I haven't been stable, and I passed on a generational curse to my child because I haven't been stable. But why is that? So God began to show me different things about why certain things was hindered in my life, my father's life, and things of that nature. Because when people are doing mighty spiritual warfare back in the days, stuff happened. But if you don't know that it happened, and if nobody from the time that my grandmother was here till now was even operating in their spiritual gifts, who was fighting it? No one. You know what I mean? So
There was something
sometimes,
that there was something that I said to Trey actually, just recently. I said you wouldn't allow anybody to disrespect you in the natural, right? You wouldn't allow anybody to just put their hands on you in the natural, right? So why do we spiritually allow um negative thoughts or the tape to continue to play? Why do we allow these things to spiritually beat us up? You
right?
have to fight. If you have negative thoughts, I don't care if you have 1,000 negative thoughts a day, you better counteract it with 1,000 positive thoughts. I don't care if
That's
you say
right.
I can do this today, and then you turn around and say I can do this today, I can do all things, like
Right.
whatever the case may be. I mean,
That's why our thing together is have a day on purpose, because you can walk out your day. We always say, and I know I said this in previous shows, but take it in. You know what I mean? It's not a bad thing. Hold, it's not trademark. But have a great day on purpose. You can direct your day by not allowing outside influences to come and take you out of your character, make you think outside of the box, or take you away from the mindset of you being progressive, happy, joyous, all of those things. These are all a choice. I remember back in like 2003, my boyfriend at the time, his friend said, I said, I'm so angry. And he said, you're choosing to be angry. And I said, what do you mean I'm choosing to be angry? He said, if you don't want to be angry, just stop being angry. Just stop being mad. And it sounded so easy, but so difficult. Like, what do you mean just stop being mad? Like, what do you mean? But these are the things, like, we can really just stop. Um, like my destructive tendencies, the things that I stopped. When I started feeling lonely, and my norm is to make a call or to see about somebody, I'll play a game. I'll read a book. I'll call my daughter. I'll do something different. I'll go to sleep. I will sleep a day away if I got to, in order for me not to do the things that I would normally do, because I am vibrating on a higher level and a higher frequency. And in order for me to obtain the lifestyle that I want, I have to think higher. I have to be higher. I have to want to I just really would have to want to be different. Did that make sense?
so
Like, I had to
um,
want
so
to
it's eight
be
o'clock. I don't know what it is that you want people to really take from this, but what I want people to really take from this episode is just not only self destruction, but getting out of that
self
victim
sabotage.
based getting out of that victim based mentality, because a lot of the times things are not happening to us, they're happening for us, or they're happening because of us. And we have to accept those consequences that come with our actions. Some things are really happening because of us. Did my mouth get me
Right.
here? Did my attitude
My
get me here?
attitude. Mm-hmm.
Right. What is it?
Woo!
You
That is so
really
good, Jazz.
within yourself, because a lot of the times we could talk ourselves out of a blessing. Our attitude can
Also,
cause us to lose a blessing.
also, one last thing: emotional immaturity. Get your emotions mature.
Everything
Stop
don't need
doing the
to
tit for
stay fast.
tat. Stop doing the
Everything
tit for
don't
tat thing,
everything don't need to
because
stay
the
fast.
tit for tat thing don't work. Somebody's still gonna end up hurt. All right, so I love you guys, and I really thank you so much for your love and support. Thank you for your patience with the transition of the show. We will be back. You will be seeing my red flowers up in shortly. But until then, you will see me on the road again. I'll be traveling and be doing a whole lot of stuff. But just know that at the root of it is here to stay because God said so. And on that note, I'm going to play the viewer's choice video. And you guys have a great night. And love and peace, joy, and soul. Okay, sorry, y'all. That was so strange. But I love y'all to life. Have a great day. And love you, Jazz. Thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
Thank you, Mom. Love you.
Love you.
Come on, let's get to the root of it.
In these times that we live, we take
Good afternoon and welcome to At the Root of It. I'm Shannon and I'm here to announce again our Viewer's Choice segment or episode. We just completed our first Viewer's Choice. Shout out to Terry Haynes. She did an awesome job. And we're so grateful that she was able to be transparent on our show. We want to make sure that we keep the ball rolling because we want to feature a Viewer's Choice episode once a month. You hear me? Once a month. So it'll be your time to shine, your time to be a star, and your time to talk about the things that you always wanted to talk about. So please email me at therootofitviewers@gmail.com and let me know your topic ideas. Let me know what you want to speak of. And once a month, someone will be chosen to have their own show right here on At the Root of It. So, again, the details will be shown down below. I look forward to hearing from y'all, and love and light to you, blessings, and come on, bring your ideas, be creative as you want to, and speak what you need to speak about. This is the podcast for transparency and for perspective. So I hope to hear from you soon. Bye now.